The Launch Club can confirm that a migrant who was only a few months away from being able to apply for British passports has had his indefinite leave to remain cancelled. This guy is fighting for his life to stay in the United Kingdom. The Home Office have told him that he will be deported. How did a migrant who went from a few months away from qualifying to apply for British passports now found himself facing deportation? That is the story that we are going to unravel this afternoon. Hopefully, somebody might learn one or two lessons from this story. A wise one once said, one of the easiest ways to learn in life is to learn from other people's success and failure so that you do not make the same mistake. Let's dive into the story that we share to you today. This brother first arrived in the United Kingdom in 2010 on a student visa. He stayed as a student. Eventually, the brother managed to sort himself out and he was given indefinite leave to remain in the country. Whilst he was trying to sort himself out, he had involved in lots of different businesses. This guy and his friends, they were very, very successful. But he was one of those brothers who wanted to be rich overnight. They set up a company. That company, they will look for numbers of old people in the UK. They will call these old people and tell them that they have selling them investment. 12 of them. They will tell them that they are selling them investment, and most of these old vulnerable people that they were targeting, they were lonely people who just needed somebody to speak to them. This guy and his friends, they made lots of money from this Ponzi scheme that they were selling to these old people. After this guy made a lot of money, he was traveling. He was enjoying. He was doing what they were called buga, having a lot of landed properties, and he was enjoying himself. What he didn't know was that a lot of these old people that they were defrauding, they started initially, they did not want to report to their family that they had been victim of scam out of shame. But after some time, a couple of them, they summoned the courage when they realized that everything that they have worked for in their lives, they have lost it overnight. When their children would ask them, Dad, are you okay? Children noticed that their father became miserable and lonely. That is when the family of these old people, they started suspecting that something is not right with my father or my mom. This is not old age. This is not dementia. Something is not right. A couple of the old people, they decided to tell their family what was going on. They started approaching the police. I have lost all my life savings. I have lost all my life savings. And the police then realized that the stories they were hearing, it was similar. That is when the police swung into action. They started unraveling who were behind this scheme. And they then find out that this scheme was being orchestrated by this guy and his 12 friends. When the guy was eventually arrested, he was convicted in 2019, just 3 months before the brother was entitled to apply for British passport if he wished to apply. The brother was apprehended. The crime prosecution service told him that you are going to go in for a long time. You are going to go in. The brother then said, look, I can strike a deal with you guys. The deal that I'm going to strike, I can refund between 48,000 to 150,000 back from the money that I've made. But in return, please don't send me to jail for a long time. The CPS looked at his plea and they said, if we send this guy to jail for a long time, We are not going to get any money back. So it is better for us to at least take this 150,000 from this guy. Instead of giving him 12 years, let's give him 4 years. The brother went to jail. He came back in 2003. Meanwhile, before he went to jail, he met a woman who comes from the same country with him. The woman has British citizen, and she has 2 children before she met this guy who is a con man. This guy is software engineering. The guy studied, is called qualification, masters in software engineering. In fact, there are reports that this guy had the opportunity of working for Google in America if he had pursued the interview that the guy started. The guy started the interview. He did very well in the first stage of the interview. The second stage of the interview, he did well. It was when they invited him to fly to San Francisco in America for the last stage of the interview. The guy then realized that, why do I need to go and work when I can be in my house? I make millions. I don't want to work. I want free money. And the guy decided to pull out of the interview last minute. So when the guy went to jail, he came out in 2023. The Home Office then told him that, look, Mr. Man, you are going to be going back to your home country because you have gone to jail under the UK Border Act 2027. A deportation must be made where a foreign national has been convicted of an offense and received a custodial sentence of over a year. However, as we know, a lot of people challenged that ruling and said, no, I'm not going to be sent. So this guy then said, when the Home Office told him that now that you're out of jail, it's time for you to pack your bag and return back to your home country. That is where drama started. This guy then said to the Home Office, no, I'm not going to, you're not going to send me back. They said, why? He said, the deal I struck with the people that loan me money from my home country is that I must remain in the UK forever. Because if I return back to the UK, return back to my home country, they have said they are going to end my life. I cannot return back to my home country because they will end my life in my home country. The Home Office said, we have evidence that before you were apprehended, you were traveling to your home country every time you were going to your home country. So why is it that now that we are not telling you that we are going to deport you back to your own country, you are saying no, that you don't want to return back because you have an agreement with the people that borrow you the money that if you return, that they're going to end your life. And the judge looked at the guy's argument, and the guy said, also, I am suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. I am accessing therapy at the NHS. I will not be able to get this service if I return back to my own country because the service that I'm accessing in the UK for my mental health, I will not be able to access this service in my home country. So because of all these reasons that I'm telling you, please allow me to stay in the UK. I made a mistake. I know I was a few months away from being able to apply for my British passport. I made the wrong choice by involving in crime. I was offered a job that would have earned me a lot of money. I made a mistake by not completing the interview, but please, I am not a new person. I am not a born again. Let me stay in the country. And the judge looked at his evidence and said, look, this man, the evidence before me means that you are sound. There's nothing wrong with you. You are a very, very smart guy. Unfortunately, you use your smartness for the wrong reason. And because of that, you need to go back to your home country. So the question a lot of people are saying is that, do you think that this man, who was only 3 months away from applying for UK citizenship, who have now said, I have made mistake, I cannot return back to my own country, please allow me to stay in the UK, and also remember Article 3 of the European Convention on Human Rights says you cannot deport me to my country because I may be tortured in my country. Do you have any sympathy for this brother? Here was a brother who came to the UK on a student visa. He did masters and he became one of the best software students from his cohort at the university. But because the brother wanted quick money, he decided he wants to go on the fast lane. And because of that, now this brother is indefinite leave to remain, have been revoked, and the guy is now facing deportation. Do you have any sympathy for him? Do you think he should be allowed to stay in the UK? What is your view about this story of this brother? The sad reality is that this brother has used his hand to destroy himself and is now having to face deportation battle. Anyone that wants to read this story, you can type onto Google, just type in Google, say deportation, facing deportation, asking for NHS treatment. You'll be able to read up on this story. I have deliberately decided not to name the country that this guy comes from so that other people can go and do their own research. We don't stereotype anybody. We share this update to inform and educate, and hopefully one or two people can learn from this story. Let me know whether you have any sympathy for this brother. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to our channel because we are here to bring you the latest update so that people can learn.